Welcome back to Druidcast with Disillusion Druid. This week on Catching Up with the Conspiracy Meta, is it spelled justice or just us? That's right, the news story everyone has most definitely heard. Last Sunday night, Joe Biden pardoned his son Hunter Biden, effectively pulling the Gerald Ford to slam the Book of Secrets shut in the American people's faces. A real slap to the tits of every corn-fed American. Before we cry whataboutism, sure, Trump did it too. Do 2 acts of nepotism make a happy and satisfied America? No. Extending the pardon back to the appearance of the Hunter Biden laptop that supposedly never existed, the pardon forgives the presidential son, the last bastion of Biden's sacrifice family, under the guise of forgiving his son's tax evasion. Biden seems to have forgiven himself, though, for being a corrupt, nefarious bastard while he was at it. The pardon came 33 days before the 119th Congress was to be sworn in. Remember, Trump hasn't finished the whole race here yet. We still have 44 days until the inauguration, and it's anyone's guess as to what could happen. Some of us saw January 6th coming, but will the elite pull the same shenanigans? My quick take on the Biden pardon seems to be an inversion of Jesus. The Father forgives the Son, but the true Son is blameless and forgives us on behalf of the Father. Instead, us, the crucifixion crowd in this case, demand the Father's blood for his sin against us, and we flip the whole world upside down in the process. Speaking of flipping the process on its head, South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol attempted martial law in the shortest coup in recent history. Was it a coup, or is that the language we're painting it with as a Western audience? The Parliament quickly and unanimously voted to void the president's move towards martial law. Not quite sure how that works if martial law was declared, but hence the paradox of mutiny. Yoon was seen tucking his tail between his legs in the days to come, with impeachment proceedings presumably underway. The CEO of United Healthcare was executed gangland style between the Hilton Hotel and Rockefeller Plaza in New York City on Wednesday. This would be 33 days before January 6th, on which date the election is certified, and 47 days before Trump's presumed inauguration date. It's also Jay-Z's birthday. Jay-Z owns Rockefeller Records. They lit the Rockefeller Christmas tree that night. Something's going on. United Healthcare covers approximately 30 million Americans, making their sway over medical protocol in the nation substantial. Their employees were required to be up to date with their vaccinations during the pandemic, if that gives you any indicator where their heads might have been in the past 4 years. Insurance rules the world. It's the subtle hand of the Illuminati, the non-governmental yet government-enforced rule regulator of the bureaucratic business world. The fact that car insurance and health insurance are mandated for all citizens, yet all insurance companies are privatized, should tell you everything you need to know about who's paying the bill for these executive agency fundraiser nights. You also have Fight Club.
If X is less than the cost of a recall, we don't do one.
These are the people who do in fact put a price, and a small one at that, on the head of every American citizen. And if it doesn't suit the House to gamble on you, to support you the way you as an individual deserve, the House still wins. Now, I'm aware, under Obama, some of these reforms completely changed the landscape of that, but the principle still remains the same. What kind of message is being sent as COVID is under review across the world, and in an unfavorable light? Rumors of Fauci being pardoned by Biden, the Democrats politicizing the COVID investigation released this week, and thousands of adolescents still suffering from mysterious deaths every week. The inversion is in full force and ready to boil over. It should be noted the CEO of United Healthcare was pronounced dead in New York City's Mount Sinai Hospital, the very same hospital where the CIA threw Frank Olson out the window after their MKUltra experiment on him. Nothing to see here, folks. We could dwell all weekend on the CEO and the Boston Marathon level conspiracy theories ramping up, but if you don't think this was a bunch of malarkey, I'll kindly point you to my posts on HH, Heliopolis, and the meteorite cult of ancient Egypt. Hilton Hotel, Hollywood Hills, and Hulk Hogan in the White House. It's a big club, but we're not in it. If you want more weird numbers and astrology on this, go check out Bobby Palaio's page. In Shrek's Swamp News, Trump has signed on for Kash Patel as FBI director. I'll admit, couldn't find too much dirt on the guy aside from the typical MKUltra universities, but you can hardly be in politics these days without having attended one. I did see this image circulating around, claiming that Kash and Vivek Ramaswamy were childhood friends. Groomed much? Vivek's other new best friend, Elon, seems to be moving into his new role as unelected White House czar quite nicely. Together, Vivek and Elon have set an expiration date for America. I mean, for the Doge. But come on, what are they really saying when they say there's an expiration date for government? They mean the United States. July 4th, 2026. America's 250th birthday, with the 47th president and the 119th Congress presiding. You have to ask yourself, did the Founding Fathers plan the timing of everything straight from the beginning? I really don't know. Elon is making friends with all new circles these days, as even Bernie Sanders has now thrown his hat in with Musk, thus successfully merging millennial democratic socialists with the MAGA crowd in a move of political sorcery that would impress Obama and Hillary Clinton. with Neuralink implants getting the go-ahead this week, and Elon using his pull in the White House to ask the courts to bankrupt his competitors for him, our Techno-Anti-Christ-in-Chief is already giving us a political display we haven't really had in years. We'll be following our black goo dark MAGA friend pretty closely in the years to come. Some accounts posted more doomer propaganda this week, claiming a computer 20 years ago prophesied an alien invasion on December 3rd, 2024. Therefore, it must be true. Well, you can put lipstick on a pig, but her shit's still gonna stink, and I didn't see no aliens on Tuesday, did you? What I did see, though, is the same old bogus, fake conspiracy accounts peddling the same counterintelligence nonsense every time one of these half-baked AI TikTok theories come around. And that brings us to the meat of the matter this week. Counterintelligence on social media. Did you think we're just getting on here for free, no strings attached? Between optogenetics, a technology where blue laser light targeted at specific sections of the eye can cause genetic alteration even to the point of causing psychosis, and a technology where advertisers can make you dream about their product, and artificial intelligence that's years beyond what is on the open market with the ability to reproduce audio, visual, fake realities in echo chambers, did you really think the CIA wasn't interacting with you in the comments? I suppose some context is beneficial. Sticking to even the most recent past during COVID, the federal government and MIT partnered with big tech as all our dystopian elites set out during the pandemic to gather giant data sets on the population's emotions, reasonings, and behaviors regarding anti-mask and anti-vax sentiment. They studied your tweets using AI and machine learning. They infiltrated Facebook groups with fake accounts, and they posted misinformation intentionally, accompanied with thousands of pre-loaded, pre-made memes to see how people would react. Also, they could know how to control the narrative better next time. Let the implications of this settle in. According to this paper alone, the federal intelligence gatherers have created fake groups on social media with the help of social media to sow disinformation within what kind of groups? Conspiracy theorists. You've probably seen some of this counterintelligence nonsense before. Some of it's obvious, some of it not so much. For me, the first time I started noticing conspiracy accounts pushing false narratives was with Maui. Remember the Maui fires? Everyone claimed it was laser beams from outer space, directed energy weapons, that Mountain Dew was prophesying the technocratic apocalypse. When in reality, smart meters were the far more likely candidate. You can see whose residence was left untouched by the fires in Maui as a hint who might have been behind the whole thing. Paradoxically, the larger the accounts following, the harder they push this laser narrative. The disconnect was so unreal to me, I began to toy with the concept that maybe artificial intelligence might be behind designing photos, videos, and even whole accounts pushing that laser narrative. And if you followed me since Maui, I've only doubled down on this thinking. Perhaps what I suggest is too much of a stretch. But then again, have you considered the timing of DARPA's Project Lifelog, a declassified attempt by the technocratic deep state, the DoD, to create a facial recognition database? And have you considered the timing of Facebook going online? It's got Facebook in the name. The same people, by the way, are pushing artificial intelligence Internet of Things now. And there's a lot of interesting stuff there, but that's for another day. What does counterintelligence even look like in the digital age? Back in the day, the CIA and FBI would infiltrate radical groups or create radicals wholesale to set them as an example to us. Today, saving both taxpayer money, time, resources, personnel, the intelligence agents can work remotely and destabilize entire countries with the same efficiency. Where agents in the 50s looked like this jackass, today they range anywhere from the libertarian guy with a hip haircut and mustache to the honeypot conspiracy gal whose inner reality hardly reflects what she's putting out there. It's not just the obvious right-wing, left-wing characters that the agency will cast and play now. Think about it. There's about 100,000 official employees for the regular intelligence people, and that doesn't include their contractors. Do you think these people are all like Amaryllis Fox, RFK's daughter-in-law, campaign manager, and former Fox News correspondent? Or maybe like Anderson Cooper, who was known to, at least talk to the CIA? Or even Tucker Carlson, who claims he flunked out of the CIA, just to name a few. No. For intelligence and counterintelligence to run smoothly, like all pyramid schemes, you need people at all levels, from Hawk Tuah podcasting to maybe only a couple dozen thousand followers on Instagram. As someone who's whispered in the ears of a lot of conspiracy accounts and watched my ideas and words get tossed out there, sometimes verbatim, imagine how much easier it is to coordinate information dissemination when you already control the platforms. I digress. Some hard examples I've harped on over the years as being counterintelligence propaganda, the Maui lasers, September 23rd doomsdayers, the Michelle Obama 2024 run, all that stupid eclipse propaganda. And of course, now, this December 3rd alien invasion. It's the same accounts every time. These accounts that I suspect of counterintelligence are consistent. They move in lockstep with one another, and they're often the main sources of any rumor or the first to report on things that end up evolving into major social media talking points. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Be careful of what you consume online. You might just be doing the CIA's job for them. Having been stumped for years on this one, it appears someone finally got to the bottom of 69. 6 divided by 9 is 0.666. There you go. And considering Cancer, which looks like a 69, is the capstone of the Masonic Royal Arch, I'm sure someone will deny that, but it seems pretty clear who these fellows think might be the true capstone. Take that with the Blue Lodge being an indwelling of blue light, which is 666 times 10 to the 12 hertz. Do symbols lie? No, that's the thing. They can't talk. The Economist dropped their latest I Spy inspired cover. What do you spy with your little eye? What does 2025 portend? Silly rumors abound of this year being the year of Crowley's prophecy for the 666 to keep it on theme. Do we believe it? Who knows? Share your predictions for 2025 in the comments. Meanwhile in Russia, in case you were thinking Russia is the big bad no one can seem to beat, you might be surprised who the oligarchs of Russia keep as their bedfellows. Andrey Lugovoy, a businessman, read that as oligarch, and deputy of the State Duma, basically a parliament member, is close business crypto partners with Dmitry Simonenko, a tech entrepreneur who until recently owned a factory in Ireland that made navigation systems for drones and submarines for who? NATO. Small world. While publicly declaring Satanism illegal, it appears the Russian government has no issues in making deals with the devil, just like every other nation state. Sad. Roping in Russia and wrapping up with AI this week, Trump named Peter Thiel partner, PayPal co-founder, and Peter Thiel crony, David Sachs, as the White House AI and crypto czar. Why are we calling everyone czar? You know, it means Russian for Caesar, right? I'm sure the guy who helped create the first viable online digital transaction site is just who we want inching us ever closer to the digital IDs and crypto-backed economies. You're damned if you love crypto here, and you're damned if you don't. But don't worry, no matter what, we as the American citizens always lose. Long episode this week. But I guess it's proportionate to how long the is that's screwing us over now. Hunter Biden's laptop might have had something to say on that, but it's officially off the table now. Looks like justice is spelled just them after all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. Remember to like, share, follow, subscribe. Tell me what works, what doesn't in the comments. Or maybe you just want to join this clown and call me a schizo. Either way, I'll be here, catching up on the conspiracies. Keep seeking truthers. You can find the answers you're looking for if you look hard enough.